NBA playoffs are here. The Knicks will take on the Detroit Pistons in the
Yep.
first round. And I believe this is the first time, I could be wrong, that Jason, everybody, this is Jason Guido once again.
How you doing, guys? How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing great.
Okay, good, good.
And Jason, so I believe this is their first matchup in the postseason, especially in the first round since 1992.
Correct.
And that
Right,
was
right. Yes.
and that
Yeah.
was towards the end of the Bad Boy Pistons era, Patrick Ewing there. So we're talking about 33 years ago.
Wow.
Um, the Knicks, for a team that is has a lot of talent, this is a team that struggles against very good teams. This year they've been 6-12 against competitive teams, 500 and above.
Right.
We spoke about it the other day off camera
Right.
that the Pistons are not going to be an easy out.
Yeah. No. No
Kate
way.
Cunningham has given it to the Knicks this year. There's at least two games where he scored 36 points, and one of them he recorded his first career triple double, which came at the Garden.
Which is impressive.
Exactly. Obviously, the run that the Pistons are having this year, no one saw it coming. I'm happy for them, for that franchise to finally get back into the playoffs.
They have 30 more wins than last year, which is the fifth best ever in the history of the NBA.
Unreal.
From Yep. No, it's
Yep,
impressive.
that is unreal. That is crazy stuff right there. But Kate Cunningham, he deserves the kind of season that he's having.
Oh
Malik
yeah.
Beasley helping out as well. So they're gonna be tough. The Knicks have their work cut out for them. But the question is, what version of the Knicks are we going to get? Also, will the bench step up? That's another thing.
Right. So what we've seen from the Knicks, along with injuries, is their inconsistent shooting. Just like to start with, at least with the offense, we'll start with that first. So we have games this year where they shoot the lights out of the ball, both from 3 point range and below the arc, the 3 point arc. Then we have games where they can't put the ball in an ocean from a submarine. It's that bad of the shooting, and the offense struggles. It's inconsistent. They throw the ball away. And then on the other side of that, on defense, um, you know, we need the Knicks need Mitchell Robinson to step up, protect the rim for them, rebound, and the Knicks' biggest culprit this year on defense so far has been their inability to defend the opponent team's 3 point shots. They are one of the worst teams in the league. I think they ranked 25th in the league this year, and and that's what the Detroit Pistons can do well is shoot 3 pointer, especially with Malik Beasley, as you mentioned. This is probably going to be the sixth man of the year award. If that happens, the Knicks are going to be it's going to be a long series.
Mikal Bridges hasn't been that consistent player that the Knicks were hoping for, that the fans were
No,
hoping for.
no.
Obviously, this performance on Christmas Day was by far the best performance of his career. Yes, he had a game winner also this year for the Knicks. I like Mikal Bridges. I'm a big fan of athletes who play on both ends of the floor, and he brings that, but he just needs to be more consistent. And he's gonna have to show up in this postseason because you know very well, Jason, New York fans will hammer you in the postseason. If you think regular
Right.
season is bad in the postseason, it's through a stratosphere. So Mikal Bridges has to show up. Karl Anthony Towns has to show up. We know what Jalen Brunson can do. Well, those two guys right there, they're gonna have to show up, and their defense needs to be legit. And I, you can't burn the starters too many minutes. That's been a
Well,
flaw from the Knicks. So you can't burn them too much in this playoffs.
so I have an answer for the Malik Bridges. At least the answer I've heard and read about is from other coaches and scouts. So basically, right, the Knicks pretty much want to play a 2 man game. That's with Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns, which basically means that the offense is going to run through them. Brunson will bring the ball up, and then they work the offense from there, try to get it to the 2 man game, which would be a pick for Karl Anthony Towns, and they try to hit the three. The problem with that they're saying is what Malik Bridges is when he played with most recently the Nets last season before he came over to the Knicks was what made him good was he would bring the ball up the floor. And it seems like sometimes that he's just hanging out on the wing and watching Anthony and Towns go back and forth with the ball and he's not getting the shot he wants, or he's getting it late in the with the plate the clock running down, the possession clock, the 24-second clock, and he's not getting the shot he wants. So for the Knicks to be successful, I think in this series and going forth in the playoffs is you got to get more people into the offense. And then you also mentioned, yes, the Knicks are going to have people from the bench score. McBride, Payne, Shaman, Kohler can get some time. He's played well. And, how are they going to work in Precious Anucha on the Canoa? All of that is going to be important for the Knicks to win. Right? You can't just have the five starters on the court the entire game. And again, how are the Knicks going to play? Are they going to play Mitchell Robinson with Karl-Anthony Towns? Are we going to see that? Are they going to sub that towards the end of the fourth quarter? So, as the game gets down, are we going to see he'll come out for an offensive set and then he'll come back in after the timeout for defense. So that all has to be worked out because we haven't seen any of that because of the injuries this season with a lot of the Knicks too. So that's all going to be keys to this series for the Knicks winning this series.
Yes, Mikal Bridges and Josh Hart, they are two of the players that have played the most minutes this season. They play a lot of minutes,
Right.
both guys. Josh Hart doesn't mind it. He's tough. I like it. But still, there is this thing where you can wear and tear in the postseason at the wrong time. The Knicks, they've gotten bounced out twice in the second round, 2 years in a row.
Yes.
You add Karl-Anthony Towns, you add Mikal Bridges to get them over the hump, at least to get to the conference finals. However, if they do win the series, who they will go up against? The defending champions in the semifinals, the Celtics. If the Celtics beat the Orlando Magic, which I believe that a healthy Orlando Magic team could at least make them sweat for it. Because the Celtics, even though they're still a great team, I've seen some vulnerability in them this season. But again, regular season and the playoffs are two different seasons. It's a two different ball game. So I'm going to be paying attention to that series, the Magic and Celtics series. But if the Knicks do move on from the Pistons, that's who they will go up against. And
Right.
like I said, the Knicks struggle against very good teams. So they need to, everything has to go right for them. Rebounding. Karl-Anthony Towns, he's one of the top leaders in rebounding this year. Rebound. Their bench. Consistency, staying healthy. Because last year they should have been the conference finals, but their ability got in the way.
They also got injured. They also had a lot of health issues. Remember last season, everyone got hurt in the playoffs. Then, and here's another thing, real quick. Right. So when Mitchell Robinson plays, right, who's going to sit? Is it going to be Josh Hart? Is it going to be OG? I don't think so. Is it going to be Malik Bridges? I don't know. I don't think that's going to happen. So that's what I'm saying. So that's part of what Thibodeau has to figure out. I've seen Detroit's game plan against the Knicks this year. It's they pretty much use those centers that they have, and Tabawi Harris. Am I saying his name right? Harris. They were using bigger men on Karl-Anthony Towns, and it's affecting his ability to score. So all that has to be taken into consideration if they're going to beat the Pistons in this series.
This is the final part. Predictions. Who will win the series and how many games?
All right. So I think the Knicks, if they're going to play like I'm hoping that they play, how they should play, they should win in 5 or 6 games. If they play like this inconsistent basketball that we've seen a lot of this season, I mean, it's hard to say that they did win 50 games the Knicks, but against the better teams, as you said earlier, the Pistons could give them a 6 or 7 game series where they can actually win Detroit. So I'm going to pick the Knicks in 5 or 6 games. I'll say 6 to be on the safe side, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah, I agree. Same thing. Knicks in 6. And it all begins on Saturday, game 1. Saturday, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, Saturday afternoon.
Saturday.
I think it's 6 o'clock. I think it's 6 o'clock New York time, Eastern Standard. I think there's a game before it, and then the Knicks are the second game, the NBA playoffs. I'm pretty sure it's 6 o'clock New York time, Eastern Standard.